The murder of JFK, an event that changed history. On November 22, 1963, a tragedy unfolded that would forever change the course of American history. President John F. Kennedy, a beacon of hope and progressiveness, was assassinated in Dallas, Texas. This event not only sent shockwaves across the United States but also had profound effects on its socio-political landscape, leaving a legacy that is still intensely debated and studied. President Kennedy was riding in a motorcade through Dealey Plaza when he was struck by bullets fired from a nearby building. Lee Harvey Oswald, a former U.S. Marine who had defected to the Soviet Union and then returned to the United States, was arrested for the crime but was killed 2 days later by Jack Ruby, a nightclub owner, while in police custody. This rapid succession of traumatic events plunged the nation into a deep state of mourning and spawned numerous conspiracy theories that questioned everything from the number of shooters to the possible involvement of different government entities and organized crime. The immediate aftermath of JFK's assassination saw a swift transfer of power to Lyndon B. Johnson, who was sworn in as president aboard Air Force One just hours after Kennedy's death. This transition occurred under the somber watch of Jacqueline Kennedy, who stood by Johnson's side, still wearing her blood-stained pink Chanel suit, symbolizing the stark and brutal interruption of Kennedy's presidency. Johnson's subsequent administration would inherit not only Kennedy's agenda, but also the immense responsibility of restoring national stability. One of the most significant impacts of Kennedy's assassination was on civil rights legislation. Kennedy had been a cautious supporter of civil rights, and his assassination catalyzed the legislative process, leading Johnson to push through landmark laws such as the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. These laws were monumental, breaking down the legal barriers of racial segregation and discrimination in public places, education, and employment, effectively reshaping American society. Internationally, Kennedy's death also had considerable repercussions. During his presidency, Kennedy had navigated through perilous Cold War tensions, most notably during the Cuban Missile Crisis, where his diplomatic negotiations with Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev had averted a potential nuclear disaster. His assassination, therefore, raised immediate concerns about the continuity of these delicate diplomatic engagements. However, Johnson's administration maintained a firm stance against communism, escalating military involvement in Vietnam, which Kennedy had tentatively begun. The assassination also deeply influenced American culture and collective psyche. Kennedy, young and charismatic, had represented a new era of American vitality and optimism, the so-called Camelot years. His death marked the end of this idealism, ushering in a period of skepticism toward government that grew throughout the Vietnam War and later political scandals, including Watergate. Furthermore, the Warren Commission, established by Johnson to investigate the assassination, concluded in 1964 that Oswald acted alone. However, public skepticism about the Commission's findings fueled further conspiracy theories, which have persisted for decades. These theories reflect a broader mistrust in government that has simmered in American culture ever since, influencing everything from popular media to political rhetoric. The assassination of JFK, therefore, is not just an isolated historical event, but a watershed moment that has had enduring impacts on American political policy, international relations, and cultural attitudes. Its significance continues to be reflected in the way current events are interpreted and understood, and in the American public's ongoing fascination with Kennedy's life and presidency. This assassination remains a pivotal point that fundamentally altered the trajectory of American history, underlining the profound effect a single moment can have on a nation's future.